I had a comment about what it must take to put together one of these videos about the 3D printing and the design and the number of iterations to get everything right. And so I thought I would do a brief video on how that works out. So the first thing I produced was the nose cone, and as you can see, it has the ports are on either side like this, and there were struts underneath. However, I found that the struts ran into the mounting screws for the capacitor, so those had to be removed. So in this version they were cut out, and later they were just removed in the printout. The fuselage down here was actually, that came together pretty fast. So this is the first one, and it was the prototype. I later salvaged it to make the first working unit. And really the only change I made was to move this hole up. Now you can see actually the very first change on this was to reinforce this hole. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little reinforcement ring around there. This one didn't have it. Later I moved the hole up to give me more space for the windings inside. So again, this one got retrofitted, this one got retrofitted. This was the first one where I actually moved the hole up, and I marked it from here and I measured. And then this one is the final one. This is the one you see on the video. So this has all the final components. It's got the two eyes, the two cockpits that look like eyes. And yeah, so that's the final one. Now, the biggest changes were the coils. So let's go through the coils. We'll move all these off to the side. And we'll look at the coil iterations. They are, so this one was just a tube, and then you'd mount the capacitor inside here, and I came to the realization that there was no way I was going to be able to put the electronics in here with that solid tube. So yeah, but it took me 2 tries to realize that. So yeah, this one has a ridge around the top to make it sit more firmly into the fuselage. My first attempt to fix the problem of working inside of here was to just open up a space here, but then it took away a lot of the winding place where I could do windings. So yeah, this kind of died quickly. And then this is pretty much the final with a few tweaks to it. This one does not have the holes down here, and it does not have any retainers here. The next, and also it has no holes here for the wires to penetrate. This one has the holes for penetration. It has the holes down here, and it has some strain relief, but they are way too tiny. Nothing would go in there. And finally, this is the one that pretty much, this is like 99%. So it has the large strain relievers, it has the holes. It has the holes along here, along the slot. And this one, still, the original hole was down here, and I moved it up. And then there's the one I made for the video to show everybody the cutaway like that. And finally, I printed a spare one in case I messed it up or wanted to do a different number of windings. So this is the final version like you see in the video. Okay, that was it. Just kind of a quick and dirty video on the different iterations it took. The space station was something similar, although those have been already recycled, so nothing to show there. But yeah, so this is what it takes. I mean, you can see that from the beginning to the end, there are not really that many changes. They're really very small things. So there's the first prototype, and there's the finished, and yeah, it's just minor tweaks between the two. Okay, well, I hope you found that interesting in your DIY crystal radio building.